What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Micah. This video is going to be on the Geminis. As you see from the title of this video, I have a slight description of the Geminis coming from the astrology deck. Let's begin. So Gemini. Geminis are the chatty social butterflies of the zodiac, represented by the twins and ruled by the planet Mercury. This sign is all about fun, communication, and conversation. They are amazing friends and tell the most captivating and hilarious stories. Geminis are playful, affectionate, and curious, but they can also be thoughtful and serious thanks to their dual nature, right? So that's just some slight description of the Geminis. All right, let's begin. This is going to be coming from messages from the ancestors oracle cards. That's where I'm going to be retrieving my message from. You guys are welcome to go get you a pamphlet if you guys wish to get these cards, but this is just what you should be searching for if you're trying to get these cards from like a library or something like that, right? So just some information about the background of this, and let's begin, right? All right, Spirit, what do we have regarding the Geminis? First one we have for you guys is grandfather or presence, right? So you guys can be feeling of an older, I want to say like an older, kind of like an energy, right? You can feel like, I don't know, maybe you guys have had passed over grandfathers and things like that, but you can kind of feel like a guardian energy, kind of like how you ever go to like an older person's house, because I don't know you guys' story, so I don't know if you guys ever met your grandparents and things like that. But if you ever went to like an older person to him, they're very confident for the most part, right? They're very confident. They're willing to listen to you. They engage in conversations pretty well for the most part. Like they're very passionate about, even when they talk about their stories and what happened in their past tense and things like that. And they have a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and they're very confident. Like you feel good when you talk to them, if that makes sense. So you guys might be having the spirit of like a guardian type of thing, more like a grandfather, whereas like a father figure energy that's kind of like pushing you or motivating you, but also in a sweet way, right? It's kind of like a someone that has a sweet soul that you can actually talk to, you could trust and things like that, but they're also giving you like encouraging words. So this could be like a spirit that you guys might feel any moment, or spirit wants you guys to kind of be open-minded to spirits like these. I've never met my grandfather, right? But when I moved in a certain neighborhood, the person that was in my grandfather's like wedding is like a couple houses down from me. You know what I'm saying? Like legit, like probably the second house. So it's like that's kind of a different situation. It's like he was in his wedding. I never met him, right? Because he was old when he had, not old, but he was, well, yeah, he was up there in age when he had my dad, and then my dad had me around like 28. So it's like it was like maybe if he would have had me, but then if he would have had me younger, then my mom wouldn't exist. So it's like it's like one of the moments you really can't do too much. But I just share that because it's kind of crazy how like if you be open-minded to this type of energies, they can actually come in. So even though I never met my grandfather, to know that this person around, well, not around his age, because he was a little bit older than him. He was probably like 20 when my grandfather might have been 30 or 40, right? So but he's still associated with him. He was still old enough to collide with him and have a good time. And so for his energy to be in my presence, almost on a day-to-day basis, not like we kick it every day, but for me to be able to see him, and this is like a kind of like a piece of my grandfather almost, right? Because it's like his friend type of thing. So that's pretty magical in that sense. So you guys could be feeling that way. You guys could be feeling like you could be feeling of a presence of a grandfather or a grandfather energy type of thing. Hopefully this makes sense to you guys. I'm just trying to break it down in my perspective. Trying to share it in the way that I know best way possible. Let me know in the comment section down. All right, next one. All right, we have shaman. Excuse me. So spirit guide. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with shaman. I don't know as much information as I want to speak on specifically on what the shaman represents. But if there is a spirit guide, again, energies don't really lie, right? So more so like you guys have had like a bad feeling about a certain individual, and then later down the line they end up revealing themselves to you, meaning they end up doing certain things that you don't agree with. And it's not like, I'm not saying like this specific person is a bad person altogether, but y'all just might not agree on certain things, and that's completely fine. It's nothing in life like disagreements are gonna come, right? So it doesn't mean that somebody's a straight up bad person, but you did find that you're gonna have difficulties with a person. This could be a coworker or whatever the case is. Doesn't matter what the person's relation is to you, but you found that this person, you guys might not get along, and then later down the line, you guys might not actually didn't get along, right? So energies don't lie, I would say. So if a spirit is guiding you in the right direction, meaning like you guys get like ideas. Like I'm gonna give you an example. And I give a lot of examples in the channel because I try to be personal with you guys. I try to really I try to do my best to help you guys as well. Like, so okay, for me, I was getting ideas to like make schedules and routines and things like that, and then I just started to do them, and then now you can have trial and errors, with everything you decide to do, but overall, if you have an idea, that just comes to mind, and there was never really like a human that really just told you straight up, yo, you should do this. If you have ideas, I would say just try them out, as long as they're productive and they're not like negatively gonna affect other people in a certain way. I would say try it out, especially if you feel like it could be, something of a positive result. Try it out because it might be a spirit guiding you in the right path. So, like I said, I'm not too familiar with the shaman aspect. I will review these cards once I'm done with this video, but just give my personal opinion when it comes down to this card. So you could be guided in the right direction, right? All right, next one we have for you guys, Geminis. We have Peacekeeper, right? So serenity, or a peacekeeper, becoming at peace with yourself, becoming at peace with one another. I don't think, here's the thing, and I just spoke on this before. I understand that people's always gonna have their disagreements, like even friends, even family, your close friends, relationships. Everybody's gonna have their disagreements from time to time. But to be at peace, you gotta kind of be willing to accept or don't accept certain things, right? So like, okay, say if you and a friend can't come to terms or whatever the case is, you guys can just separate, right? And that's just what you both are willing to accept, or at least you're willing to accept. I would say I would say, when it comes down to being at peace with you guys selves, just make sure that you guys, it's like a notification that just happened on my phone. I'm hoping that they don't cut off the video, but anyway, make sure that you guys, be at peace with yourselves. Find things that mean peace to you. If it doesn't bring peace to you, let it go, or at least learn to just deal with it as best as possible, for the time being. But you're learning to find peace within yourselves. I was supposed to go ahead and do something with my fan so it doesn't affect the video. I'm hoping it don't. So we're just gonna go ahead and see what's going on here. But after this, I'm gonna make sure I sort that out. What else do we have for the Geminis? God protect my phone, my devices, make sure nothing happens while I'm recording. Alright, we have Rhythm Maker or Tempo. So maybe becoming in sync with your life. Just becoming in sync. Kind of like, okay, what I like to do is I like to kind of prioritize what I need to do, and then I could just go from there, right? So I was telling you guys about the schedule and all of this. So I try to just break down the details and stuff like that. And you don't have to do it, but that's just my opinion of being in sync with yourselves. Because I feel like a lot of material is fine. Having materialistic things is fine, but if we're not in tune with ourselves and confident in what we do and what we present to the world, then, and we're out of sync, we're out of the rhythm, we're out of beat, we can often end up tripping over ourselves or doing too much, or not feeling like we're not doing enough, we're not in sync with ourselves. So it's important that you guys get in sync with yourself, get in rhythm, get in tune, and for that, really just do all the things in your day that you genuinely want to do. And if even if it's not something you want to do, just do the things you need to do as well. Like, okay, you guys know you gotta go out there, however you get it, go hustle, get your little bread or whatever. Then make sure your priorities are met. Make sure your kids, if you don't have kids, make sure your house is taken care of. Make sure whatever things that you have to do, you get them done. Don't even make it an option, make it an obligation. Even for you guys that want to do training, don't say, oh, I want to train. No, make it an option. Like tell yourself this is what I'm gonna do. That way, you know you're hitting all your marks, right? So you're just being in sync with yourself, and then you're being grounded, being balanced. All of this stuff comes in together. It comes naturally, right? So just keep this in mind. When it comes down to just rhythm and being in tempo. That's the best way I can explain it. All right, next one. Okay, we have storyteller or imagination. This is gonna be underneath the card for the grandpa. This could be indicating that the presence of a grandfather is a good storyteller, right? What does that say? Oh, and also imagination. So this can also be like use your imagination. Like the world was made of imagination. The cities, to the words, everything was designed off of a thought process. It starts with a thought. So like I said, don't be afraid to start your journey or start your dream. Worst case scenario, you don't make it at the moment that you thought you was gonna make it. Let's put it like that. Because if you be consistent long enough, you will make it. I don't know if you like I said. I'm not gonna glorify nobody on this channel because I don't know the details on the backgrounds of this specific person. But like Louis Vuitton, for an example, not the company, but the original owner. You know how much stuff he went through. If you go look at the story, they went through so much, you know, this and he was up, then he went down. It's like you're probably not gonna make it when you think you're gonna make it, but eventually the way the universe works, the longer you're consistent with it, it will come. It's just how it works, right? So use your imagination, and when you imagine something, stick to it, stick with it. I promise it's gonna make it. Now it might not come exactly how you envision it, but you will have a product, which means let's say you say, okay, I want a yacht. Or I'm giving an example. Let's just say you want a yacht. You chase this dream of getting a yacht because you want to go fishing on this big yacht or whatever. I don't know, right? You might not get your yacht, but you will get a boat. You know what I'm saying? And you can still do the same thing you could do on a yacht that you could do on a boat. I'm not saying it's settled, but I'm saying don't get too overboard with wanting that exact item, because you wanted the item for a purpose, for a principle, right? You wanted it so you could sail the sea and things like that. So if you get into a position to have a boat and stuff, maybe you could sell it, upsize it, whatever. But just don't get discouraged if you don't get to that point at that moment. You might end up during another day. The same thing with houses, right? So I'm just giving slight examples for you guys to change your mentality or to think a certain way so that it can benefit. But yeah, use your imagination. All right, next one, Geminis. Okay, we have magician or conjuring. So magician, your magic. This can be like manifestation, affirmations. You know, you still gotta put in your work and stuff like that. I mean, still be practical about it. But affirmations works perfectly fine. Talking about things. What you speak is how they say, what you sow is what you reap. So, you know, speak good things into perspectives. Even if you're talking about negative topics, ensure that you guys are kind of learning from it. You know, everything is a learning experience. Everything is a learning process, a learning moment. So we just got to make sure every situation we learn from it, because it's kind of like, I remember when I bought my first car. Don't have it no more, but my first car that I bought it for a cheap price, right? But I'm not knowledgeable about a car, right? So I'm not like where I'm at. I'm on an island, so we get old and wind and the rain, and that when a car is sitting, it just gets rusty, right? So it was rust at the hill bottom, and where I'm from, they don't pass cars like that, right? You gotta have your car up to date and up to par. So when I'm looking on the hood, it's pretty much all right. Well, no, I take it to a mechanic shop, and there's so much problems with it, and you know, it's just so much fishy situations, and I just kind of have to take that out, let it go, but kind of look at it and speak on it as a lesson. You know, now I know moving forward how to actually, you know, manage it better, like how to actually go ahead and look under the hood and, you know, just check out these situations. So that was my experience that I use as a learning experience. So just like learning things. But yeah, when you guys use your magic and things like that, affirmations. You're a magical being, though, for real. So just keep that in mind. All right, next one we have. We got communicator or messages. You guys, like, if you guys are in situations where this is why I say, like, just be open-minded to life in general and try to look at things from different perspectives, because there could be times where you get messages from people, animals, spirits, and things like that, and it could be in a form of a way where it's like somebody's telling you something. Just listening for it, because it might be something that can help you in the future. And I don't want to make this video about me, but one time I was discussing with one of my peoples about I could survive. It was like a joke, but I was serious. You know what I'm saying? I had like a piece of paper and I was like, I could survive for $100. And what's crazy is that's why I say, like, be careful what you speak to, because it's like that same list that I end up writing of like peanut butter, rice, all of that stuff, bread. I end up using that exact list for when I went and got my product, because something had happened in my life at one point, and then I ended up, using the little money I had to buy groceries. So, just keep that in mind. But as I said, everything can be a symbol. Now, it wasn't a bad thing, because it assisted me. That list actually assisted me by me thinking about it ahead of time. It assisted me. So I just say be optimistic. Keep an open mind to things, because things can come into your life that can be seen as a message, that could be seen as wisdom or guidance towards helping or assisting you in the near future, right? Okay. Next one we have Gemini. So this is the last one. Deck of 8. Geminis. Excuse me. So we have Lover. Lover, right? To be in love. Now, what it says, right? Okay, so be in love. Both parties have to do work. There is no real such thing as who is the financial provider and who isn't, or who does the cleaning, who does the cooking. There's not really like that. I would just say, look, when you're in a love connection, when you're thinking about a relationship, or you're in a relationship, you guys just have to work together in different ways, different formats. So just being one, caring for each other, loving each other, being in sync, kind of like how this is, kind of just being in tempo. You know what I'm saying? Just being as one. Like they say in the Bible, they say, don't quote me on this exactly, but I believe they say something along the lines of, when you get married, you become one flesh. So just working with each other and not against each other. Like, just try to work with each other, try your energies, help your energies to bounce off each other in a positive, optimistic way, and then it should be fine. If it doesn't seem that way, it's not that the person is a terrible person or things like that. It just means that the person isn't for you. Like, you know what I mean? You're on a different type of mindset. So you will want your lover or your connector to be in the same attitude or the same situation. But you guys just gotta work together, and then as time goes on, it will build up, right? So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully this message has helped you. If I said anything that's helpful, just let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for viewing. Thank you for your time. And I'll see you guys on the next video.